What's happening, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to another episode of The Gist of It. And today we are going to be talking about sales, because this week is a very sale-heavy week. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, this Friday is Black Friday. Of course, Thursday is Thanksgiving, and so traditionally the day after Thanksgiving is centered around the idea of materialism and consumerism and commercialism, where there's just a ton of advertisements for items that have a significant discount. And so whether you really need it or not, you feel compelled to go out and buy something just because it is so dirt cheap as compared to its usual price. I mean, just as a point of reference, I was a huge fan of Ratchet & Clank as a kid, so whenever they remade it on PlayStation 4, I was pretty excited about it. Did I buy it right out of the gate? No, because I didn't really want to see the movie. I'm not fully invested in the world, but I was still interested in playing the game. As a guy that keeps up with games a lot, and as a guy that likes to keep up with the newest releases and the newest DLC updates and stuff like that, I have a lot of stuff to play, so the likelihood of me actually getting back to Ratchet & Clank was very low, but lo and behold, thanks to Black Friday, I went ahead and picked up a copy, and I think I've played it probably once, got through a couple of levels, just didn't really grab me, but they still got my money because it was cheap on Black Friday. You see what I'm saying here? This is the kind of thing that encapsulates this entire holiday and makes it what it is. So with that being established, it's very clear to see that Black Friday brings the temptation to buy stuff that you simply do not need, and I have fallen into that temptation before, and actually, succumbed to the temptation many times, because, for instance, there was one Black Friday where I was going out to buy an Xbox One. There was like a 500GB bundle with a Halo Master Chief Collection, and a couple of other things, I believe, maybe a free controller or something like that, but it was like $250. This was probably 3 or 4 years ago, probably 4 years ago now. But I went out to go buy an Xbox One. I went to Target, bought the Xbox One. On top of that, I ended up getting a television. Like, just, a 40-inch television, I think. And I had no intention of buying the TV. I had no need to buy a television, but I ended up buying it. And I'm still using it to this day, but I've used it very sporadically. So could I have survived without dropping, like $350 on this television? Absolutely, I could have. Could I have used that $350 to make a car payment or something? Absolutely, I could have. So, I mean, it's one of those things where on Black Friday, definitely figure out what you are going after, and whenever a sale comes about at any time of year, figure out what you specifically are going to play, going to use, going to need in the future before you drop some money on it. Bringing games into the mix, I mean, we have Steam sales coming up, and Steam sales are an incredibly tempting time for PC gamers to just fall into this trap of buying tons of games that you will never play. I mean, I probably have over 150 or 200 games in my Steam library, and I probably play between 12 and 15 of them, and in any given year, I play between 12 and 15 of them. I have so many games that I simply didn't need, but they were $2, $3.99, $5, whatever it may be. I just kind of chunked it out, and I was like, I will play that later. Chances are, man, you're not going to play it later. So again, take the time to look into the game, figure out what you are actually going to spend time to play, and then make your purchase instead of just, inherently going out and getting it right then and there. The final point that I really want to drive home here is that you should support what you want to support through your monetary purchase. And so what I mean by that is that if you want a Titanfall 3, for instance, then buy Titanfall 2 and increase the sales of that game to show EA and Respawn that there is a desire for a Titanfall 3. Of course, it has been announced to be in development, but of course, with Respawn being acquired by EA, that could change at any day. We don't really know. So voting through that purchase is going to show them that Titanfall 3 is something that is desired. And the same thing can be applied to any kind of game, any kind of franchise, anything like that. If you want to support something, whether it be a lack of microtransactions, if you don't want to have microtransactions, whether it be a sequel to a specific game, whatever that is, you can show support through your purchase on Black Friday. And so that's another thing to kind of tuck back in the back of your head. By no means am I saying to go out and just buy something to support the idea of the sequel or to support the idea of not having microtransactions. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying that's another thing you can consider whenever you are preparing to make a purchase, to kind of back an idea rather than just the game. Of course, the game is a fantastic bonus, but on top of that, you get to support the kind of movement that you're really backing here. But overwhelmingly, if you're going Black Friday shopping, if you are preparing to, take part in any kind of holiday sales, I do hope you get some good deals. I hope you get some stuff that you are going to use, that you are going to love, that you are going to enjoy, because this is a fantastic time of year where you can buy stuff for other people, where you can buy stuff for yourself, and it's just a generally good time all around. And of course, if you aren't buying anything, enjoy what you already have, and you don't really have to buy anything anyways. Never feel compelled to make any kind of purchase whatsoever, because if you're happy, that's all that matters. And so the gist of it is that there are going to be a ton of of awesome deals on Black Friday. There are going to be a ton of awesome deals throughout the rest of the holiday season. But at the end of the day, whatever the deal is, whether it be on a game, a television, a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, a headset, whatever it may be on, take the time to consider before you make your purchase, because chances are you might choose to save that money instead of getting that new headset, mouse, monitor, or whatever it may be. Or maybe even Ratchet & Clank. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of The Gist of It, and I will talk to you later. Peace.